What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here. So if you're a fan of my channel, you'll know I'm having PC issues. My graphics card is screwed, so I'm in the process of getting a new one. So this is recorded on my laptop, so sorry if there's any audio issues. But I just wanted to go over the new weapons that we're getting today with the March 5th update and Guardian Games launch. So we're getting a refresh on the Prophecy Dungeon weapons, as well as some Trial and Nightfall weapons and Iron Banner. And just this past weekend, I did a couple videos showcasing like what traits to look for in a god roll. So I just thought it would be fun to go over the traits on things that I would be looking for with these new updates. So let's start with the Prophecy weapons. They have an origin trait called Crossing Over. This weapon has increased range and handling for the top half of the magazine, while rounds from the bottom half of the magazine deal increased damage. So I'm not sure the exact specs on that. Maybe it's like plus 10 handling, plus 10 range, and like a little bit of a damage boost. But right away we've got a sudden death, which is now a void shotgun. I believe it was arc before. So 1-2 punch is obviously always nice. Destabilizing rounds and repulsor brace, that's always a good combo for void synergy, and you can get that on Retold Tale. Envious Assassin is not bad, but I don't really see many damage perks. So you could maybe go Envious with 1-2 punch and never really have to reload. Discord is actually pretty nice. It was on a solar shotgun from like Season of the Deep, maybe Last Man Standing when it came back. So that's kind of nice because you just get a primary kill and then you can just use your shotgun to take out a bunch of ads and never run out of ammo. Slide shot with barrel constrictor could be really good for PvP. This is a aggressive frame, so it's like Mindbenders, and I've heard that barrel constrictor got a buff, or threat detector and barrel constrictor could be really good. An elemental capacitor, depending what you like to run. So those are some PvP roles. But yeah, PvE, Discord's kind of nice. Trench barrel is obviously nice for 50% increased damage. So some decent rolls here and a lot of different ways you can go. Darkest Before, I used to love this pulse rifle. I had a couple rolls. I had like Surplus and something else, and it was like super stable. Surplus Elemental Capacitor, I think it was. So that combo is actually still here, and honest to God, it's super, super good. And Crucible just got changes. So rapid fires, they've always been kind of good for giving time to kill, because you just kind of spam them. So this is still a really good roll in my opinion. Subsistence 1 for All is really nice in PvE, especially a little lower end PvE with Subsistence. It's now a solar frame, solar surge, by the way. So you can also get Heal Clip and Incandescent, which has nice solar synergy. Heal Clip just got a buff to be cure times 2 instead of times 1. Heal Clip, Kill Clip might be good in PvP, and it's not bad in PvE either. But yeah, I really like 1 for All for PvE. Head Seeker could also be nice in PvP. So yeah, those are kind of the ones that are standing out to me. I'm still not sold on Deconstruct whatsoever, and Attrition Orbs I don't think's all that great either. So yeah, those would kind of be the roles I'm looking at. Relentless is now a Strand high impact frame. So Outlaw Frenzy is nice. Outlaw Hatchling for Strand synergy. Outlaw Desperado for PvP. That's kind of a classic role. It's not as good as it used to be. I really like Rapid Hit though, especially on something like a high impact. It'll stable it out. So Rapid Hit moving target, Head Seeker, or Zen Moment could all be really, really good depending on how this thing feels. It's got 65 recoil direction at base, and yeah, you can obviously kit it out however. Slice and Hatchling, more good strand synergy. So yeah, I like the fact that it can get Hatchling on a pulse rifle. I don't believe we have that, and I do like Hatchling as a perk for PvE. And then some pretty nice PvP rolls. Like Zen Moment's great, and then Rapid Hit will steady it out and increase your reload speed. So this could be a really nice combination. And Frenzy's just always good on anything it rolls on. And speaking of, it also rolls on this Arc Precision Frame auto rifle, the Prosecutor. So it can roll Frenzy, Volt Shot, Target Lock, Golden Tricorn. So this thing has some really good PvE rolls. Dragonfly and Volt Shot previously could only roll on Nation of Beasts from Last Wish. So that's really nice. Discord, I'm not really sold on primaries. Rewind rounds target lock, some nice synergy there. And again, with the Crucible changes, I'm not sure when this will kick in. You can kind of see the community research here. But yeah, depending if that can lower a TTK with this new higher health sandbox, then that could be really good. Zen Moment is also really, really nice in PvP. And who knows, maybe Gut Shot Straight too with this new sandbox. So yeah, there's some very interesting roles that you could get on the Prosecutor for sure. So yeah, I think Prophecy is available this week, so it might be worth farming because it won't be back for another like 6 weeks. Then we have the Adjudicator. This is a kinetic precision frame SMG, so it can roll with kinetic tremors, which only the showrunner could roll with before. It can roll overflow kinetic tremors, that one, so I think I kind of like that a little better. But Subsistence Onslaught sounds really nice for a bit lower end PvE. Frenzy, like I said, always nice. Kinetic Tremors, again, another one of those perks. When you see it, it's usually worth getting. Very good. Rampage, it's fallen off in my opinion. So Threat Detector is nice. Maybe Threat Detector, Kinetic Tremors, Frenzy, however you want to go. But there's some good rolls here. Perpetual Motion Target Lock is probably the best PvP roll. If not that, maybe Dynamic Sway. And Fragile Focus, yeah, not bad. Depending, I know Target Lock's getting a hit on SMGs in particular, so it might not be the role that it kind of used to be. So who knows, maybe Rangefinder, Fragile Focus, you can kind of play out of your engagement range. Plus you get that increased range and handling at the top end. So this SMG right here, I know Rangefinder got a nerf, but yeah, that combo could be really good for PvP as well. So again, some interesting roles there. And the last one we have is Judgment, which is a stasis primary. Headstone in the left column, no less, is always nice. Unfortunately, demos in the same column. I like demo Headstone together if possible. Yeah, this right column honestly isn't looking all that great. If you could have got demo Headstone together, that would have been really nice. But timed payload. So in that that video where I break down God rolls, I talk about payload perks. And basically they're free damage, and they mitigate damage fall off, and they have nice interactions on things like Overload Champions. So I'm thinking demo timed payload for like a PvE role, honestly, looking at what we got here. And then maybe Slide Shot, Opening Shot, or Eye of the Storm for PvP. Adrenaline Junkie's never bad, but time payload is kind of the winner in the right column for PvE, is that, as far as I'm concerned. And then Headstone is nice on stasis weapons, just because of the stasis synergy there and being able to make a crystal. So that might be the role I would go for right there. And then, yeah, like I said, either moving target and slide shot with opening shot or Eye of the Storm for PvP. Now we have the Wild Style Grenade Launcher. It's a solar double fire, which I know people were very hyped on, but once I saw the perk pool, I was like, ooh, I don't know if this is it. The reason this is such a big deal is because things like Apex Predator, in the past we had Cataclysmic with Bait and Switch. A lot of solar legendaries have been damage metas, so this was like a perfect pairing because people really like Wilderflight for its damage. I've got it here. But you could get auto-loading with Vorpal. That's like the ultimate role on Wilderflight. But everyone was so excited with Solar because then you could match your surges. But looking at this, stats for all, maybe. But again, that's not going to be good on a boss because it's a single target. Enlightened Action will get you some better reload speed. But again, you're probably not going to be using this for straight damage on a boss. It's better to have something like auto-loading just to proc like a Bait and Switch or something. So Envious Assassin is kind of the go-to as far as I'm concerned. And then Disorienting Grenades are always really nice. Incandescent, maybe, if you want some solar synergy, but I don't know how much I like it on a GL. One for All, it's like, can the GL already just one-shot most red bar ads? So do you really need a damage boost? Again, this is going to do nothing for you on most damage phases. Surrounded, maybe you can make it work on certain damage phases. But yeah, once I saw the perk pool of this, I don't know, guys. I'm not all that sold on it. Nothing's jumping out to me to take the places of Wilderflight in like a DPS swap rotation with autoloading Vorpal. It's got nothing like that. So more of like an add clear GL if you wanted to go stats for all, one for all. That's kind of like the main thing I'm seeing. Danger zone's all right, especially with disorienting grenades. Get you a bigger blast radius, disorient more enemies. But yeah, overall, I don't really think this weapon is going to make much of a splash, to be honest. So, like I showed you, here's the Wilderflight. It's got better rolls, in my opinion. Demo Vorpal, Auto-Loading Vorpal, Frenzy. A lot better perks for GL, in my opinion. Now, from one that's kind of dead on arrival to one that I think is going to be somewhat meta, I loved Falling Guillotine. This is the exact same Vortex type frame, but with stasis. Previously, Zephyr was the only one to get Cold Steel. This applies slow stacks, but I imagine with the Vortex, it's hitting so often you'll actually get a freeze because each hit applies 40 slow. It says the heavy attacks apply 60, but this heavy attack hits a bunch. So we'll wait and see if we can apply it on one Vortex spin to win. But anyways, Cold Steel, great perk, can stun overloads and unstops. It's risky for unstops, obviously, because you got to get the freeze in the first place. So in higher end content, it's kind of a no-go to at least freeze. But really, really nice. I love Cold Steel. I have a Zephyr with it. It's awesome. One for all, again, situational. Eager Edge, only 2 weapons, and they were both from 30th anniversary. So this thing is excellent. I love Eager Edge. So that's kind of what I'm looking at just for like general play. And then Bait and Switch. So this says 35% damage, but that was actually nerfed today to a 30% increased damage. But that's an on-demand boost. So like, I don't see Whirlwind Blade on here, but that kind of used to be the go-to. This is the first sword we've seen with Bait and Switch. So you can stick with Witherhoard, shoot one shot of your primary, and then go to town with Bait and Switch, 30% damage boost. One for All's 35%. So still a very, very good damage boost. Plus with Relentless Strikes. If swords ever become, like if there's a sword-based boss where you have to get up close and personal or whatever, like this roll right here, very, very nice. I'm loving it. If you wanted to use it for ad clear, chain reaction demo, very good synergy. And then just for general play, oh, and Pugilist too, if you really wanted to like build into abilities. Pugilist demo is a nice roll. This will get you more super energy, but I don't know. Like supers aren't all that important. But yeah, Relentless Cold Steel, Eager Edge Cold Steel, very good rolls. I'm probably going to keep a few of these. I'm going to be going for Relentless Bait and Switch for my boss damages, and ideally Eager Edge and Cold Steel. But like I said, I have a Zephyr with Cold Steel, so if I don't get lucky with drops, it is what it is. But I definitely recommend having one Cold Steel sword in your vault. Yeah, this thing's pretty cool. Permeability, could maybe do some cool stuff with that. But yeah, the ones I kind of talked about are definitely the ones that I think are worth going after. Tusk of the Boar is from Iron Banner. Unfortunately, I turned in all my Iron Banner tokens, and I'm freaking kicking myself because Envious and Hatchling is definitely the role I want. Slideways Hatchling wouldn't be bad either. And then we all know how good Chain Reaction is on Forbearance, which is the only wave frame that can roll with it. I know they're looking at touching up Chain Reaction because it's a little too OP right now. Enlightened Action is one that people sleep on a lot, but you get increased handling, increased reload speed as you deal damage, and this thing hits a lot of enemies at a time, so you're going to get really quick reloads with Enlightened Action, so I'm a big fan of that. Though, like I said, Slideways, there is a cooldown. It's not as good as Slide Shot. Vorpal, it's not, like, you don't really want damage perks on these things. I have a Forbearance with Bait and Switch. Never use it. Like I said, ad clear all the way. So Envious Chain, Envious Hatchling, those are kind of the perks you're looking at there. I do like Enlightened Action too, and maybe Slice if you wanted to debuff some enemies with Sever. So yeah, some pretty good perks here. Definitely, I'm a big fan of Hatchling. Multi-Mac, I have a quick draw kill clip roll, and it goes super hard. We don't get quick draw on it anymore, but moving target kill clip could be really nice in PvP. Again, target lock, I don't know where it's going to shake out in PvP, but I know it's getting nerfed on SMGs, so it might just be a non-starter. Not really seeing too much for PvE other than Frenzy and Kinetic Tremors, but in the left slot, maybe under over for anti-barrier SMG, which we haven't had in like 3 years. attrition orbs maybe. So yeah, nothing really jumping out at me here. Iron Reach, but again, they're kind of reining in range on these weapons, on SMGs. So yeah, nothing too crazy with Multimac, but like I said, Kinetic Tremors, always a good go-to. So under over Kinetic Tremors could be good if, like, yeah, if there's anti-champion SMG in the future. But yeah, nothing too crazy with Multimac. Oh, and I was just going to show that the Showrunner can also roll with Kinetic Tremors, but also Overflow. So yeah, just a comparison thing if you don't want to grind. Don't want to waste your Iron Banner tokens on Multimac and would rather go Tusk of the Boar, then just try getting a Showrunner. The Summoner, so now we're into the Trials weapons. The classic Heal Clip, Kill Clip, not bad for PvE and PvP. Let's see, Subsistence Incandescent could be okay, though I'm always a big fan of Enhanced Incandescent when I can get it. Onslaught, very nice perk. So Subsistence Onslaught, really nice for PvE. Perpetual Motion, tap the trigger, could be nice for consistency. Zen Moment, like I said, Zen Moment's a monster in PvP, so maybe Zen, tap the trigger for consistency. Golden Tricorn's not bad. Solar is really easy to spam abilities with, especially on like a Solar Titan. You just get one kill with your Summoner, then get a bonk kill, and then you got Golden Tricorns ×2 with Radiant, so you're dealing a shit ton of damage there. Pair that with Subsistence, rarely have to reload, so that could be a really strong combo. I actually have Subsistence Onslaught on the Rossarago 4. I love it. It's very good. So yeah, is it worth jumping into Trials late in the season for? You know, those Trials weekends where these weapons come back could be populated, so it might not be too bad. They're making changes with this update to Trials. You can read about that on your own time. But it will have never been easier to go flawless than it is with this latest patch update. So again, maybe worth jumping in if it's something you're interested in looking into. But yeah, there's some decent rolls on the Summoner. I've always liked that auto rifle, to be honest with you. Feels good. Yeah. And then the last one we have is the Prophet. I don't really use these legendary... Heck, I did used to use Deadman's Tale. It was really nice for Anti-Barrier Scout with Vorpal Weapon, but then they nerfed the Cranial Spike, and I never really went back to it because I don't like reloading these things. They reload 2 at a time in the magazine, and it just really isn't it, in my opinion. Though Discord auto reloads for you if you get a kill with a different weapon, so that could be really nice. Depending on the content you're in, you proc Discord, and then you can just go to town and never have to reload. It works kind of like Subsistence. Enlightened Action, again, you want to focus on reload perks on these things. So Outlaw, Rapid Hit, or Enlightened Action, in my opinion. This is for PvE. So you'd want a reload perk, but Demo is also obviously nice. And if you're slaying out enough with it, you can just toss out, like, this is a Stasis 120, I didn't mention that. But you could just, if you're running Dusk Fields, then this could actually pair really nice with that build, because these things do hit hard. They're super slow firing, but they pack a punch. So Demo Explosive Payload could be really good. Again, in that video, I suggest you check it out if you're kind of unfamiliar with what perks in the game are super good. But Explosive Payload is like one of the best PvE perks in the game. So Demo Explosive Payload or Demo Headstone, really nice synergy with Stasis. So I do like that, but again, I'm just not a fan personally of the 120 archetype. I think they're very cool. I just don't like playing with them in PvE. Golden Tricorn could be strong. Stasis buffs incoming. Stasis is feeling good this season, so you never know. Rapid Hit Precision Instrument. Not sure how that'll shake down in PvP, but that could be really strong. Rapid Hit Kill Clip in PvP. Hipfire Grip Offhand Strike, both based on hip firing, so you can really build into that hipfire aesthetic that DMT was going for back in the day, and still is known for. Cascade Point could be really interesting. So this thing has a ton of interesting roles. But again, is it worth grinding it out in Trials to get all those roles? Like, it's not craftable, because there are a lot of things on here I'd like to try, but I'm not the biggest Trials enjoyer personally. But yeah, there are some good things on this weapon and a lot of very unique characteristics that you can go with. Like I said, Hipfire Grip, Offhand Strike. Some of these PvP lords, they could make that look super strong. This is always a good combo in PvE. If I could, this would be what I would go for in PvE personally, or I would settle for demo explosive payload because I just love demo, and explosive payload's always good. And I almost forgot about the Hullabaloo for Guardian games. I figured I should go over it. I more wanted to go over the ones that will be in the game going forward, but this is a God roll guide and people are probably interested in that. So Volt Shot is always nice, and then Chain Reaction on a wave frame, which Dimensional Hypertrochoid or whatever it's called is the only one that is currently a wave frame in the heavy slot. So they're very good for ad clear already. So Volt Shot Chain Reaction could just make it that much better. They're not great for like boss damage, so auto-loading Vorpal, kind of a no-go. Field Prep's always nice on something, especially things that you use for ad clear. Like I love it on my fixed odds machine gun. So that's a really nice roll. And then, yeah, I don't know how much you really need damage perks. So I don't know if Golden Tricorn is really worth it. One for All, if it is worth it, then One for All is probably the damage perk you want to go for, because you're probably going to be hitting 3 enemies when you use this thing anyways. Enlightened Action and Impulse Amplifier are both nice for additional reload speed. So yeah, this thing can get some really good rolls. I know I'm going to want to get a Volt Shot Chain Reaction. Yeah, so ArcGL could be interesting. But yeah, so that's going to do it for the video. Like I said, sorry if the audio quality's a little crappy. This is on my laptop, but I did want to get this video out there just to help you guys. And if you need more help on what makes a God roll good, check out my videos from this past weekend. I break all that down. But yeah, those are the rolls that I'm going to be chasing over the next few weeks and months on these different weapons. So if you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe for more if you want. And thanks for watching. Take care.